Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I made this statement a few times before, and that was regarding Zelensky not being on the hit list for the Russians. I said this on a few occasions that if the Russians wanted Zelensky gone, they could have done it. The reason why Zelensky is not, and for that matter, any of the guys surrounding Zelensky are not, assassinated by anybody, is I think because the order was not given. The reason why the Russians would not see any benefit in getting rid of Zelensky is that they understand that Zelensky is not a kingpin. They understand that Zelensky is the 20th wheel at the car, you know what I mean? So it's not needed. If Zelensky gets out somehow, another weasel will be put in his place. But nevertheless, what's interesting is that now I have a confirmation. I have a receipt where someone says, well, Putin said we will not do this to Zelensky. And who could that be? That could be an Israeli. All right, he was the former Prime Minister of Israel, Bennett. So let's see what's going on here with this article, which comes from my friends from Jerusalem Post. And this is the bad dude. Remember Scarface? Say hello to, or good night to the bad person or whatever it was. So anyway, this article comes from the Jerusalem Post. And it's from today, actually tomorrow. So you see, I get you in the future, my friends. So it's February 5, 2023, because in Israel it's already Sunday. And this is the title, and I'm quoting, Putin assured me he wouldn't kill Zelensky, end quote, Bennett recalls. And this is, I'm quoting again, do you intend to kill Zelensky? End quote, Bennett recalled asking Putin during an almost 5-hour interview he gave to Israel Channel 12. So Bennett asked Putin if he intends to kill Zelensky, and Putin assured him that he will not. Russian President Vladimir Putin promised not to assassinate his Ukrainian counterpart, Volodymyr Zelensky, when he met with former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett last year in the early days of the war. Now you say, well, what's the promise of a criminal? Well, I gotta tell you that it's a saying in Romania that even criminals have their own set of rules. Among criminals, I don't want to say a criminal honor, but anyway. So I'm quoting: "Do you intend to kill Zelensky?" End quote. Bennett recalled asking Putin during an almost 5-hour interview he gave to Israel Channel 12 that was posted on YouTube on Saturday night. In that conversation, he recounted details from his well-known trip to Moscow on Sabbath in early March 2022, in an attempt to help broker a peace deal between the two sides. And Putin's pledge. While Bennett was not able to help end the hostilities, he was able to secure a pledge from Putin not to kill Zelensky, who at the time was hiding in a secret bunker to prevent such an assassination. Did you hear that? So when you hear Zelensky being so tough and so proud and so courageous walking around, it's because he's not, on the hit list for this guy. Other people might be, trying to do that to him. And remember, this comes from the Jerusalem Post. So it doesn't come from Reuters or Sputnik or Russia Today. And they say, while Bennett was not able to help Zelensky, so he was able to secure a pledge from Putin not to kill Zelensky, who at the time was hiding in a secret bunker to prevent such an assassination. Okay, well, no surprise here. Now, what's going on here? Jump to another one. Not afraid. Yeah, okay. Let's go back here. So, Putin assured Bennett, I'm not going to kill Zelensky. That's what he said. Putin assured Bennett, I'm not going to kill Zelensky, end quote. Bennett replied, and I'm quoting, I need to understand that you are giving me your word that you will not kill Zelensky, end quote. And Putin again promised not to do so. Now I'm asking you, my friends, why do you think that Bennett, a country from Israel, has nothing to do with with Ukraine more than it has with Russia or with other countries, apparently, would have to travel to Moscow? You'll find out later. He has to travel. He travels to Moscow, speaks with Putin for 5 hours, and in the middle of that, among other things, they discussed. He asked this guy, the Putin criminal, whatever, promise me you're not going to kill a guy that actually Israel has nothing to do with. Now you tell me, why would a Israeli prime minister care about the president of another country? Now it's true that Zelensky is, and Yizhmihal and Zernikov, whatever his name is now, and Yermak, Reznikov, they're all, but on the other hand, do you think that could have played a role? He was very concerned with Zelensky, that's all. And why? Promise me. What do you have? What dog do you have in a fight here? So anyway, let's keep reading here. And Bennett called Zelensky, listen to this, Bennett called Zelensky while he was still in Moscow on his way to the airport from the Kremlin to tell him that he was not under a death threat. So Zelensky was shitting his pants in the bunker before Bennett called him and said, you're okay, buddy, you can come out. And this is what Zelensky said, are you sure? Jesus Christ. But that's what you do business with Jerusalem Post, I guess. Are you sure? Zelensky asked. And Bennett replied, and I'm quoting, 100%. Within hours, Zelensky had returned to his office and made a video explaining that he was not afraid. Bennett said, do you hear that? So Zelensky was hiding in a bunker, right? Shitting his pants there for good reason, I would say. Hiding. Bennett goes to, I don't know why Bennett and not other people called Putin, hey, promise me you're not going to kill him. Anyway, goes over there, travels to Putin. Begs, tells, asks, please don't kill the weasel. Putin said, yeah, it's okay, whatever. Bennett doesn't leave Moscow. He calls the poopy guy, full in diarrhea, in a bunker, and tells him, you are okay, Zelensky. Everything is okay. Zelensky asks Bennett, are you sure this is not gonna... The guy said, yeah, 100%. Okay, coming out and make a video. Hey, you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid whatsoever, man. I'm a courageous guy. I'm gonna stay here, and if they wanna kill me, kill me. I don't care, man. I'm courageous. And all America, including all the weasels over there or here, Sean Penn and all those guys. Oh my God, and all the women. Isn't he courageous? Ah, la la. Now, how about that courage? And I'm not saying he should not have been afraid. Yeah, you're afraid the guy's gonna bomb your ass. But you come out and you do that, that's fake. That's phony. That's a lie. That's a lie. And he's playing all this courageous, showing up without just the shirt everywhere. All right, let's see what else these weasels have to say here. Now here, Zelensky had returned to his office and made a video explaining that he was not afraid, Bennett said. He explained that he had gone to Moscow at Zelensky's request on the belief that there was a small window of time in which a deal could be reached to end the war. And I'm quoting, this is Bennett, when we went in absolute secrecy on a descript plan from Israel through the Kazakh region because we couldn't fly over the Black Sea. On the way we prayed and made a blessing over the Sabbath wine. It was very emotional. End quote. Bennett said, here's your courageous guy right here. Here it is. Close the mouth. Well, fly can get in. Now, maybe something else. They landed in Moscow, Bennett, where it was cold and raining. It was in what was his first trip to the city, that city. Bennett recalled adding that he was joined by M.K. Zekevelkin, then the housing and construction minister, who is originally from Ukraine and speaks Russian fluently. He had in the past acted as a translator for Netanyahu in the meetings with Putin. From Moscow, they went to Berlin to meet with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and together they went to France, Great Britain, and the United States, all of whom had known about his visit. And I'm quoting, everything I did was coordinate with the United States, Germany, and France. So, Mr. Bennett, I told you, when you say, well, okay, let's go to the bad guy right here. So I told you, when these guys are keeping quiet, and I'm talking about Israel in this case, as Romanians do the same. When it's quiet, that means they're doing more than you would think that they do. The same with the Romanians. Did you hear anything about Romanians doing anything? That means they're doing a lot of shit that we should not know yet. I guarantee you that. I mean, what the hell? So the same with these guys. They say, well, we're not involved. They were involved. There's a lot of things occurring behind the scenes. You know that. Americans are in contact with the Russians, 99% certain. I don't want to say 100. But the same here. So the weasel, this courageous guy that you see adulated here, coming in the U.S. Congress and the Capitol, and give me money, more money, shut the fuck up, yeah. Okay, with what's her name, Nancy Sinatra, Nancy Pelosi. Remember when he was like, after he did his speech in the Capitol, turns around and she was like, keeping her denture on. How are you? And he was like, give me a kiss, a little French kiss right there. And she was like, oh my God, I need my underwear changed. So that's what happened with Zelensky, the tough guy. All right. So when you look at Zelensky, you know that he's over there where he is doing his pictures on all that, because Bennett came and talked to Putin, and Putin said, get out of here. We don't need that little rat over there. All right. So we knew that. I told you that these guys don't want the weasel dead. Why would you want him dead? I didn't expect to be an understanding between, let's say, Israel and Russia, or Bennett and Putin, but I didn't discard the possibility that the sponsors of the whole thing in Ukraine wouldn't contact Russia or Putin and ask him a few things here, and they agree. I mean, after all, the Ukrainians agreed not to hit inside Russia for some time. Who do you think told them that, and how? And then the Russians agreed not to destroy the infrastructure, electricity and all that, until allegedly the Ukrainians blew the Kerch Bridge, the strait over there, the Crimean Bridge. Before that, the Russians were not destroying what they destroyed after that. And then they started, okay, yeah, we told you, if you hit Crimea and the Kerch Bridge, it's going to be hell. I'm not saying they're right doing that, but, at least if they let you know about that. Anyway, and then they cry, they hit our infrastructure. Well, so did you. Anyway, so good job, Zelensky. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.